Hi.
hear me so well. Hi.
God, you're so white. I'm so in the colors of black. Wow.
I don't know why it's happening, but it still is nice. So yes, the sound is nice. Hello, Eva. How are you
Hi.
doing?
Hi. I'm good. I'm in the middle of a work day, as per usual. Had a
In the middle
little,
of the work day at 8.
yeah, at 8. Sometimes the work never ends. The right work is the one that never ends, and you enjoy it so much,
Oh
so
yes, it's like
you're
a life.
always there. Yeah. Although
So
you
that's
really
good.
gotta make pauses sometimes.
Okay, that's good. So, I can see the people are joining. So let me once again introduce you. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you here. Thank you for coming. We will be glad to see following people also. And today we're going to talk with our beautiful friend Eva from Estonia.
Hi.
So, I was thinking, how can we conduct our interview? So let's divide it into three parts. First,
Okay.
about your past, then
Your
about
present
your
and the future.
present, and about the future. Yes, and
Wow.
then I know in advance that some people prepared question for you. So
Wow.
be ready to answer them. And let's start. Could you please tell about yourself to our friends who is following us?
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Eva Evelinok. And since the first part of the interview starts with the past, then I was born in September, 20th September 1999, which is a bit more than 21 years ago. I grew up in the city called Narva, which lays exactly on the border with Russian Federation. So pretty much the closest point to Russia and Estonia is my hometown, where we used to have and we still have this bridge called the Bridge of Friendship. So every now and then, me and my family would go to Russia over the Bridge of Friendship. I was born with an addition. I have a twin brother, Edgar, who is hopefully maybe watching this live stream also. I went to a usual high school, to usual like school, no elite school or anything. The Narva Estonian Gymnasium, I think it's called. So ever since I was a kid, I learned Estonian. And then in the second grade, I went to music school. And yay, twins! We can see the comments, so you can comment.
Twins from
Uh,
twins.
yeah, and so I went to music school, played there for a while, and after graduating, I went to university, and here I am in my third year of law school in Tartu. Yeah, should I answer the question?
I think yes, you might answer because maybe it's from your past also. You can.
Well, I think I didn't have friends until I was like 17. No, I'm just joking.
Oh.
I've always had one, my brother.
Oh yes, you
Friendship.
know. That's really nice. That's
Friendship.
why to have a twin.
Yeah. Although when your parents, you ask your parents for a pet, they're like, you have a brother, so no
Yes.
pet for you. What does the friendship mean to you? The article "the" there means that you mean some kind of a very
Yes.
special friendship, that
Concrete one.
a concrete one. Okay, well, you would have to be a bit more precise into which friendship you want to know about. Friendship is about trust, first of all, and it's about unconditional support. So whatever happens with a friend, you gotta be there. If the friends needs you to be there in a way that you don't talk to them, they just gotta know that you're there. So for me, it's this unconditional support that is interlinked with trust. So if you have support and trust, you're good to go to be a friend. Did I
That's
answer your question? Hi,
hopefully.
hi,
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 Lisa.
hi.
Welcome, welcome, everyone. Nice to see people here. Let's ruin some prejudice about the small cities. I have a question
Oh,
specifically for you.
okay.
So you have said that you've been born in Narva, right?
Yes.
It's a small city comparing
Yeah.
to the other one. So tell me, did it stopped you through your life, or does it really, or it helped you more?
Yeah, so does growing up in small city hinder
Yes,
you
yes,
from becoming something? I don't think so. Well, first of all, Narva is not considered like a small town in Estonia. We have like villages and towns that have like 50,000, less than 50,000 people. So it's not considered, it's the third largest country in Estonia, so it's not that small. But in the perspective of Estonia, it is considered to be like not the capital, not the like big and popular city. but I don't think that growing up in a small city hinders you from becoming someone, because the small city gives you this. When you grow up, you're like, oh my god, I really want to go there. I want to do that, and there are those cool people out there. So every time you're like, well, can I be as good as them? Can I aspire to be them while being here? And since there are not many distractions in Narva, like if you go to Riga somewhere to the Italianos quartals, and you start like having fun there ever since you're like 14 or like 13, there is no time for the self-development. So I think the lack of fun opportunities, like clubs, etc., it can support your like not professional but like personal growth. So I don't think that it hinders the small town. For me, Narva is still like the biggest town in my soul. So there is no bigger town with more opportunities, because even in Narva, like in this small town, if you want to look for opportunities, if you really want to find the opportunities, you're gonna. So I don't think it's the matter of the size of the city. I think it's the matter of the way you perceive the city and its opportunities.
So yes, absolutely. I'm supporting your idea. There is a question from Karina once again. Would you like to answer?
Wait, I think there was something else. Are you going to say? Oh,
Yes,
I was
yes.
like, oh, okay, okay, yes, yes. What is my favorite place in Riga? Oh, that's a tough question. What is my? Actually, from the recents, there is this Radisson Blue Hotel on the other side of the river, the
Good choice.
the one that faces the river.
Yes, yes.
And that the one that faces the river, it's kind of old one, but there's this really beautiful balcony, and so you get, it's like on the 10th floor, you just go out there in the balcony and this view of river Dauga and the old Riga.
Yes,
I haven't been to Riga so much to like know my particular place. I really like the bus station too, because it holds a lot of memories for me personally. So it's either bus station
the
or
central one.
yeah. The well, I have no clue what it's called in Latvian. Yeah. What are your favorite places in Riga? I bet you have Tallinn's Kvartals is actually good. I was there once. Well, by the end of the evening, I wasn't quite aware of different parts of the Tallinn's Kvartals, but I remember that generally was a very nice place with nice people.
Yes, absolutely. It's a kind of a new place comparing to the other ones because like
Yeah.
it just during the last past 2 years it's become really popular and they started to like develop this art and
Culture.
cultural stuff. So that's why it's really popular. Obviously, I love this place.
What
Both
is your
of you.
favorite part of Riga?
The part or the place?
You can answer the both.
So I really love my city, especially everything that it's hard to divide between your friendship, the love stories, and the city. That's why everything is so
Yeah.
connected, and there is a
Yeah.
people with them you spend this time together. So I would say the all the Riga, all Latvia is my beautiful and lovely place in my heart, but Estonia as well, and Narva. I think everyone. Being part of the youth organizations have some memories with Narva.
Yeah, I bet people from all over Europe, someone from like the small village in Slovakia is probably, oh, Narva, I have some cool stories about Narva. Yes, I agree with
Yes.
you. I think someone answered that Plavnieki.
Plavnik, yes, it's my neighborhood. I'm from
Yeah,
Plavnik.
I've been to Plavniek. It's a very I don't think I've seen something like Plavnieki anywhere else. So I think it's very special and a very unique place. So yeah, but it's really nice that you have this whole Latvia as a favorite part. I think that's very patriotic, and like I
Yes,
wish more
that's
more
true.
Latvians would be like, Latvia is my favorite place, because the motivation is not as big.
But I mean the Baltics, all of the Baltic states,
Yeah,
they have this precious and pearl of the Europe, this forest, the seaside, everything makes it so beautiful. I
yeah.
don't understand people who don't feel the same as I do.
I think people fall in
So
love with Baltics real fast. If you haven't
yes,
fallen in love
yes,
with
yes.
Baltics, you haven't been there. I think there
Oh,
was another question about what
yes,
motivates.
yes. Would you like to answer? What
What
motivates you during
motivates
the
you every
days?
day to reach new goals? I think that's a very flawed question. Like, it's a great question, but every day, I raise your hands or show like this, like send a smile if you have this motivation for new goals every day. So there is no this lazy Monday where you just lay in bed and you think this world is shit, I'm not gonna do anything. So I don't think that there is something every day to reach like new goals, but this constant reason is curiosity. I'm naturally a very curious person, so I really want to know, like, so what this is like, what that is like, or what happens if I do this, what happens if I do that. And since this curiosity is often mixed with a lot of opportunities, you get this you cannot not be motivated. So every day you're like, oh my god, this is so exciting, I really want to know what that is like. So I hope I answer. Curiosity motivates me. Thanks
Yes,
for the question.
no, thank you very much for writing us questions. So write more, please.
Yes.
I would say that in this question, the answer is hidden in this question. So the goal, for me, the goal motivates me maybe the most. Like I see what I want and okay, what should I do?
Yeah.
Just what should I do to have this, to do that, to be the same nice as this person, or to develop
Yeah.
something the same perfect. Okay, we talk a little bit about your past. Let's move to this moment when you decided to leave Narva and to your present.
It's. I mean, that is the sad truth. Like young people don't choose to leave Narva. If you have a certain goal to like study some profession, and you're like, oh, I want to become a doctor, or become a lawyer, or I don't know, IT specialist, or whoever, musician, whatever, you have to leave Narva because we do have one college, a beautiful college of Narva, Tartu University College of Narva, but um, it does not allow you to study like a lot of things. It's like it's teachers, project management, youth work, great youth work, some IT. But if you really know what you want, and this is something that you want is not taught in Narva, you obviously have to go. So it wasn't like a choice. So I was never like, oh my, should I or should I not leave Narva?
Mhm.
Unfortunately. So yeah, after I graduated in 2018, not very long ago, and I went to Tartu. I should have become a doctor. I was raised to become a doctor, and I seriously was convinced I was going to become a doctor. I went to all the like Olympiads and like studied chemistry and biology and stuff. But then I was like, I went on a project. Actually, it was the Erasmus Plus that changed my path, and so I was on a project, and the people are talking about like how the countries work, what are the governmental structures. Anyone who knows, and I was like, maybe, just maybe, there's
Maybe.
something else. And I went as a student shadow to one of my acquaintances back then, and I saw how the how law is being taught, and I compared it to how medicine was taught, and I was like, well, I really want to be taught that way. And so I packed my stuff and I moved. I'm actually in the same dorm room that I was when I moved in, and this is my
Oh,
last year, so it's almost 3 years that I have been living in this wonderful place.
there is a
So
question from Leno. Lenok?
that's my brother,
Oh,
Mr. Lennox. Follow him; he's a cool guy.
okay.
What's the different between Narva and Tartu youth culture? Do you mean like youth culture as of like high school, or you mean like youth culture as of like young people who study in universities as well? Because I have never been a high school student in Tartu. I have no clue what do you do in Tartu if you're underage. I honestly don't know. Okay, I do kind of know because there are like youth centers here and a lot of good young youth workers. So that you did not give me any clues now, Edgar, at all.
Under
Um,
30.
I yeah, I don't know. In a way, it's similar because in Narva you can see, in Riga it's the same. You come to a shopping center and there are young people just chilling there. They like listen to their music and they're just being in the shopping malls. So in Narva it is the same. We also have people who just sit in the shopping malls, talk trash, and just like play cool. The same thing here. There are the same Estonian youth who sit in the shopping malls, who do bad things, who smoke and drink alcohol behind their garages. It's the same. So the spectrum of young people who are exposed to negative things is the same. And the difference is that in Narva, those issues are not tackled upon. So in Narva, if there are such youth who smoke, do alcohol, maybe even drugs behind garages, and there are no mobile youth workers who deal with it in Narva. So in this term, even though like the youth free time spending is kind of similar, but the issue of young people not being, not being taken care of is tackled differently. But otherwise, I don't think it's much different. People also go out. There are a lot more opportunities to like play like throwing discs, table tennis, youth centers, more than one. There are a lot of events. So I think in Tartu it's more like saturated, like more bright in a way. So if in Narva everyone has to organize themselves, they're like, oh my God, this is so boring. We have to do a concert. So if in Narva people organize themselves more, then in Tartu there are more opportunities to be organized. So you're like,
Mhm.
oh, I can do this, so I can go there. Did I answer your question, Edgar? Heal, right?
Hopefully. So you've been saying that you're gonna be a doctor when you grew up, yes, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe
what
law
about
doctor.
what about the brother? So both of you supposed to be a doctor in the future?
No, actually, it was very interesting. He was never supposed. I mean, it was our mother's dream for me to be like a surgeon and for him to be like a dentist. So mom was like, "Oh my God, I'll have good teeth and if like fair skin." But now this is actually interesting. I don't know that as we were growing up, mom would always say, "Oh, you're gonna be a doctor, you're a doctor." But whenever it came to Edgar, mom didn't have any narratives, any like scenarios on what he's gonna be like. So it wasn't pretty fair, in a way. So
Is it kind of a stuff when the mom like they ask from the girls a lot, but from the guys like just survive,
yeah, it's
nothing else?
yeah, as long as you're like healthy and like
Yes,
alive, you're good. You're a good
yes,
son.
you're
Yeah.
doing great.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
I don't. We've had this difference in approach. So mom would always say that, "Oh, you're the girl. You have to study better." It does not mean that he would study worse. He would study pretty well, a bit less, a bit worse, but he would always aspire, and he would always, by his aspiration, inspire me to become better. So I think that his sort of like free wave of doing whatever he finds to be right to be doing, it inspired me to also be like think outside the box, think outside all of the things that people tell you to do. So he's actually happily studying in Tallinn, what is customs and tax. So basically, anyone paying taxes, my brother is watching him.
Okay, so let's continue. There was a question about the concerts. Tell us about your musician career.
How
So
many concerts? This is impossible to that is literally I would have to count. Well, I started playing concerts when I was like eight, eight, nine. And in music schools we would have concerts like I don't know, every week, every 2 weeks, but we would have a couple of concerts on the week. So I think it's more than
thousands,
400, more than
hundreds
100.
or
No, no, no.
thousands.
I think it's around like 500 if to take all. We would perform in kindergarten, so we would come with saxophone and we would ask kids, so what is this instrument? And people would be like, the kids would be like, what did they say? Trubочка or something like that, like a pipe. So there I am standing with my saxophone asking the kids, what is this instrument? They're like, that's a pipe. And we're like, cool, yeah. So that unfortunately I cannot answer how many in numbers, but that it's many. It's many.
So, what musician instrument do you play?
I play my main instrument is saxophone. When I went to music school, I wanted to play clarinet because my mom wanted me to play clarinet, and I was very small, so my fingers were very short, and I couldn't physically like cover
Yes, yes, right.
all the buttons. And so then I played the flute, like recorder flute, like this, like the one you can play with your nose, like the you know and
Yes, that's right.
and like 2 years into music school, those small saxophones, new small saxophone, they would cost like 1,000 crowns, which was a lot. and we were given those brand new little saxophones, and yeah, so for like 11 years, 12 years of my life, I've been playing saxophone. Здравствуйте, Дарья. And after that, it was piano, and then my teacher, he taught me to have to play drums a little bit, and I always wanted to play guitar, and my classmate, actually, Jürgen, he would play guitar, and I would come to like to see how he plays guitars. I would just touch the guitar and be like, I will never learn how to play guitar. It's impossible. Like you touch it, your fingers hurt. And I was like, no, no, wait. And then he just gave me his guitar for the summer. And by the end of the summer, I was like, maybe it's not that impossible. So yeah, that was a big adventure. The music school, and generally the music life gave me a lot, a lot. It's actually one of the reasons why I am where I am. Because like Luba, you know Luba, she invited
Yes,
me and my brother to play on one of the talent shows in Narva to Vita Team, to the organization.
yes, yes,
And
yes.
this is how we actually got into Vita Team, through music.
Ah, so for the music, right?
Yeah, yeah. So if it wasn't for playing music, I would probably be in my third year of medical school, and my mom would be very proud of me.
So are you saying that the music changed your path from the medicine to the lawyer? Is it like,
Yeah, I think like very indirectly it did. So yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll screw the law and become a musician. You'll come to my
come on,
concerts. You
yes,
never know.
you have a lot of you have many years in advance. You can do whatever you
Yeah.
want. Maybe you will become a doctor in 30 years, like
Actually, yeah. This is actually the thought I stumbled upon a couple of days ago. I went out in city, and I was like, maybe I chose the wrong path. And I was like, no, wake up, you're good. Like you're good. Yeah, but it's actually like when you start thinking about like all the things you do in life and how they interconnect and like affect stuff you do, it's very interesting to see that maybe the things that you have seen as one thing actually are a whole separate other thing. So yeah, music has changed my life from doctor to lawyer. Thank you. And
I
mom is
will
like, I
save this
shouldn't have.
quote.
Yeah, yeah.
That's beautiful. So, when is your next concert?
When is my next concert? That's
Uh-huh.
oh, I think there are like questions. When is my next concert?
Yes.
That's a very different question. I was actually proposed to sing this Saturday in Narva, but then I was like, I have a test on Tuesday. I have work. It's in November. It's in November. Write it down. It's I think
Okay.
it's at like 10, 11, 12 of November, something like that in Narva.
There is some people there asking for you to play right now, actually.
Play right now. I don't have
Yes, this
anything to play. I have a ukulele, but it's very out of tune, and it'll take a while to tune it. But no, I don't have saxophone. Actually, I should have taken my saxophone with me because there's this band at Tartu who asked me to join them, and I forgot saxophone. Bad, 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 bad. But yeah, unfortunately, I cannot play right now. I'm sorry. Don't throw me out of
the
this line.
okay, right. Dari is asking about the new song. So before you start to talk about the new song, tell us about your ready songs.
My son. Well,
Yes.
what do you mean the ready songs? The ones that are.
Yes, which one released already?
Oh, well, I have two released songs. Ironically, the third one should also start with P. And it's the first one is Prostata. It's actually one of my favorite songs. It's about how everything beautiful is kind of encaptured into simplicity. So you don't have to, make beauty complicated. And this perception of beauty through simple things is something that we lack a lot. So I can remember when writing the song, I was in my room and I just finished the call. It was a very, very nice call. And then I could see the clouds in my window, and there was this old tree, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is so beautiful!" Как облака перед закатом, та-та-та-та-та, парят. So it's really about like noticing the beauty in the small things, and us in the continuous rush of chasing after whatever it is that you chase, either a career, a family, I don't know, buying yourself a new car, flat, whatever. It's just sometimes it's important to sit back, take a moment, and to perceive the beauty and the simplicity as it is. Yeah, and the second song is Bione. It's um it's a very I remember writing the song. It was like, I think it was my first summer in the university, and I came back in August to the dorm for something, I don't remember what, and I haven't played the guitar for a while, so I just took the guitar and the song came. And the poem from for Pioneers, it's very old. I think it's like 3 years old, like maybe 2.5, 3 years old. So a lot of the songs that like they catch up on lyrics, so lyrics are already there, and the song is kind of, oh, so the lyrics, yay. And yeah, Prostata Pione out there, the Gilinski, please listen. They're not, I gotta apologize, they're not like professionally recorded. Because, well, first of all, I cannot play guitar that well. Second of all, I cannot get the people who play the guitar professionally to come and play it professionally for my songs. And third of all, I don't want it to be perfect because otherwise it will be flawed.
Make
So
it
I like
simple.
it. Yeah, the beauty lays in the simplicity, right?
Yes, the following post will add your song and your links to the music that you have done.
Absolutely.
So
Yes,
yes,
let's
yes,
make
yes.
the Gilinski international.
Yes, and so we have 2P, and it's not about the marketing.
I don't have to be. That's such a no joke. I'm
Uh,
sorry. I'm sorry. I just had to.
that's good. That's cool. What about the following song?
What about the following songs? That I actually have two songs that I really want to record. And for one song, I need a good friend of mine, Alan, to come from Tallinn and just record with a piano. And the other song is Paris, the Paris song. So we're getting there. I had two of my good friends have a studio in Narva, so we kind of co-work. Like I assist them in their legal matters, and they provide me with a place to free my soul and kind of capture it in the studio. So it's I don't know when, but eventually it's gonna come. So stay tuned.
It's gonna be this year. Should I make a note about the date?
I actually, in terms of actually making it happen, putting a date down is better. But yes, I think it's gonna be this. I have no, honestly, I just think about my schedule. I'm like, don't make promises. Promises never led to anything good. But this is the motivation I need, because when people actually ask like, oh, are there going to be more, are there going to be more, it kind of gets me thinking that, oh, maybe it's not shit what I do, like maybe it's actually worth something. So it's and since it's every song is a very particular part of my soul, so anytime I publish it, it's a very vulnerable moment for me. So it takes a lot of courage, and I don't know when I will have the courage to post the next song, because the Peony, I posted it because one particular person very much asked me to do it. I was like, well, if you really wish so, I will do it. So it's the people, like if people continuously, persistently communicate their wish, it will push my butt to be more active in those matters.
What did you feel when you released your first song?
What did I feel? It's funny because I wasn't entirely sure when it was going to be released, because there's a whole process of releasing songs. And I was like, okay, I want to release this on this date. And it was like the date that I was posting it into this website. So it was not the date that it would upload to Spotify, into
Mm-hmm.
Apple Music. So I would check Spotify every now and then. And I was on my way to a studio, actually. And I was like, okay, let me check. And the song was out, and it was raining. And I was just standing in rain thinking, oh, that actually happened. But then a lot of people showed a lot of love towards the song. And I can, like, every one of you who is listening, I know that you're listening, because Spotify artists, that's an app for the artists. They know, I know where do you listen to it. I know how frequently do you listen to it. I know in which city. I know for how long, on which day, from your playlist, from someone else's playlist, etc., etc. So this activity of people, it's very flattering. It's a lot of
Uh,
gratitude as well.
who is your main fan? Can you name his?
Who's my main fan?
Yes.
Wow, this is a hard
According to the
question.
statistics from your Spotify.
Actually, we can. I think we can take. I don't have the app on my tablet, but I think it's people from Tallinn, because most listenings are from Tallinn. So whoever you are, people from Tallinn, those are the main public is like 18 to 22 females. So 18 to 22 females hit me up. Yeah. I think my brother is my biggest fan though. He never admits it, but I know deep down he's freakishly proud of me. Yeah.
So talking about about your friendship with your brother, do you feel more like competition or supporting? What is kind of
I I have never perceived as competition. I have never perceived it as competition because you know when you share the same room, when you share the same room, when you share the same everything, there is no need to compete ever from the beginning. So I think if it was a sister, then I would feel more equal. But since this, not more equal, but more like similar, but similar in a way that a need for competitivity, competitiveness. Oh my god, I start forgetting English. So the need for being competitive wasn't there because we were equal on different on different edge. So it wasn't like, oh, I need to be better than this or I need to be better than that. We both know that we are better in some things, and we
mm-hmm.
truly embrace the things we're better at, and we try to support each other in the things that we're worse at. Because I once wrote that ведь раздельно мы не лучше, чем сосуд кровоточащий. Because if we're separate, we're no better than this little blood vessel that bleeds very shortly, like very slowly. So I feel sorry for all your twins or sisters or brothers who perceive growing up or having a sibling as competition, because there is no purer and more unconditional love than in between two siblings. Yeah.
Yes, there is some support from Lika.
Yeah, is there? It's not always like that, but I also think it's a lot of work, because sometimes it is very easy to lose this like mutual love towards each other, because there are a lot of fights. Do you know how much we fight? I made my brother so angry when he was like 11 that he hit my door, which had glass, like from the windows from glass, and he still has scars on his hand, like here and there, from hitting the window. And he would hate me for the more like for the high school, because I would protect him, and all the boys would be like, "Oh, do you need protection? Like, why does your sister protect you? Are you the man?" And he would hate, and we would have a lot of like the differences in perceptions are vast. They're ginormous. You cannot even imagine. But still, there is something, this bond that hopefully will never be broken. Because if that if that bond gets broken, then I don't think there will be much left from me, as well as him.
So you went to the same school, right? Same class?
We were behind the same desk. So yeah, can you imagine you're in 7th grade and you have this it's this human studies. Can you imagine you're like the human studies teacher, like waving with a condom in front of you, with like your brother in the first desk, and your teacher waving a freaking condom? And this was awkward. So sharing those acknowledging moments in the same desk was pretty hard. And yeah, we went to the same everything except for the toilets. Although I still root for gender non-separative, gender neutral toilets. Yeah.
So that's beautiful. Tell us, let's a little bit move on about the past. So we kind of describe that from your perspective. Yeah. What are you doing right now? I mean, not like this specific moment, like this year's, in this part of your life, like.
Oh, it's a tough question. I think that the last couple of years have been the years of actually figuring out what I'm doing. So every now and then I'm like, wait, what I'm doing? Wait, what was it? Like, what? So I think this is the period of life when I try to discover what I really want to do in life. And this is actually very scary. Like every one of you out there thinking, oh my God, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Or like, where should I go? Which university should I go? Which job should I apply for? All of that, it haunts you. And here I am. I'm in my 3rd year of bachelor's. I kind of should have figured out that I want to become a lawyer by now. I have a job in a law firm. I'm having a job in law field, and I'm performing and I'm writing songs, and I am the youth delegate to UN from Estonia. It's a lot of it's just a lot. I actually, when I think how different life gets, I compare like being a legal assistant in a law firm and being the co-screenwriter for a rap opera. So one day you find your name on this paper that says you're the co-screenplayer for a rap opera, and then in 2 minutes you have to reply to this urgent email concerning the merger of a big firm. So it's every time I'm like, oh shit, what? And when people ask me, oh, so where do you see yourself in 10 years? I'm like, dude, I have no clue. Where do I see myself in 2 weeks? So I think answering your question, it's a lot of it's the period of life where you try to establish your inner like the inner perspective, like where do you see yourself, where do you want to see yourself, and unless you try different things you will never get to know. So for me it's just trying a lot of different things, a lot of legal things, not illegal things.
Yes, I got you. I absolutely feel the same way. But the sad thing is that like you're trying different things, but from different parts of your life, you feel different. Like I remember myself when I was thinking, okay, maybe I should start to learn some science, and I thought,
Yeah,
oh, that's I never. It's not my. I want to dance. I want to be a theater player. That's my dream. But now I feel that I really need something other in my life. You never know. Like
yeah.
when people are concrete about something, talking about 10 years in advance, they're liars. Like absolutely, it's impossible.
I don't
I
think
don't
I
really.
don't I don't think a lot of them are liars. They're either really confident or really naive, because you cannot like fully acknowledging your skills, your aspirations, like everything you bring into this world right now. There is no possible way for you to see, particularly unless you're fucking, I'm sorry, Vanga or Mother Teresa or like someone who can see in the future. You cannot. You're either very confident and you don't care about anything and anyone else. You're just gonna go there and go there, or you're just too naive. You're like, oh, I'll just
Yes,
do that.
absolutely. I mean, the more you know, the more you feel how things are changing so fast. Like
Yeah,
it's not about. I was thinking like 2 days ago, like what do I really control in my life? So I was
oh
thinking,
yeah,
okay, maybe it's at least my phone, but I know I can lose it. Someone can steal it from me. Like
yeah.
nothing is really captured in your hands. Maybe the laugh.
You see, this is
Or
actually, yeah. Go. Well,
yes, 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 yes.
it's just I came upon this realization recently that I really feel like I have my life in my hands when I drive. So literally, you have your life in your hands when you drive. So if you really want to feel that you have the control, just go on a road where there is no one, because even when you drive on a like usual road, there are dumb drivers who do not know how to drive. So I think like in order to not completely lose your perception of you having the control, it is sometimes necessary to have those elements of self-control wherever you see. It might be driving, it might be, like holding your phone and being like, I control it. It might be anything. It might be dancing in the rain. So just having those little elements of being in control will keep you sane, because otherwise it's really simple to get your roof going.
oh
I don't think there's such term in
yes,
English.
maybe that's really true. To the one CEO of the company. So I was asking him, what did really change your life perception and perceiving of the things around you? So he said me when he was young, he did the pilot courses. So and pilot like the
Oh, pilot, like flying.
pilot. Yes, yes, yes. And
Yeah,
he
yeah,
said that my life, like there is two types of before and then. So when you drive
yeah.
the I don't know
Plane.
rule how.
Uh,
Okay. So
let's
you got
not
this
get
fine.
grammatical.
Yes. So when you're just holding this flight roll,
Yeah,
I don't know,
thingy. Let's call it
and
thingy.
there is you're not thinking, yes, you're not changing the
John
flight
Winters.
position. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You're changing the horizon. like,
Yeah.
and you feel
Oh,
how you change the direction of the horizon. And he said that is the best thing I have ever felt and tried. So, and this
actually,
really successful guy with many different businesses. So he said, this is the point. Like, this is how you control the life, and you can't even make something similar to this feeling.
I think
Can you?
I've never, like you told the story, I have never thought about it that way. Like I acknowledge that when you drive a plane, the horizon changes, but
Yes, it's right.
I've never connected that move as if you
Yes,
change the horizon. I
you
think
can rule
I'm
the
gonna remember
world.
this. Yeah, I will remember
Yes,
this. Thank you,
and
whoever this guy
in
was.
in a 3 years, you are going to have a pilot courses.
Of course. Well, I with my surname, I don't even need them. I can be like, I'm Eva Lynn, and they're gonna, here's your license.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. So I was, the Karina was asking the question, or Lika, I suppose maybe it was Lika, about the plants.
The
Plants about the,
plans. That's what am I aiming for?
yes.
Education, recognition, or something like that. Wow. I don't think that education is an aim. I think education is an instrument. So it's always like there is no like aspiration. Just do something just for the sake of education. So I feel like doing something with the education is more important. So I think yeah, I need to graduate this year, write my thesis, write my exams, and then I will see. I honestly, I have no clue. I still have to consult with my legal colleagues, friends, used to be friends, everyone whom I possibly know, to consult in the matter of what path to choose. And people are like, oh, so where's your master's gonna be like? And some would think that I just like I purposefully not tell them where I want to go. I don't know. I think that for a lawyer, having education in Estonia is important. If I want to have part of my career here, I think Estonian education is okay. But I aim for two masters. I will get Estonian one and one in a more specific sphere later on, if I don't get the specific sphere covered by a year exchange. So for me right now, it's graduating bachelor's, getting into master's, and deciding in which narrow specialty it's gonna be. It's gonna maybe I'll go to the army. I have considered that, so you never know.
Really?
Yeah, my friends tried to talk me out of it, but I was like, you know what? I have my life. I have a lot of years, hopefully, to come. So, but further, I don't know. I used to have this dream to become a diplomat, to become the ambassador of Estonia, ambassador of Estonia in Kiev. I
Oh,
still,
really?
yeah, I still kind of have this wish, but I know that the diplomat life is very uncertain in a way that you never know where you're going to end up. Although it's again debatable. You're going to be somewhere in a particular part of your life, and then you're going to move. So there's no like stability in your personal life. I don't know. We'll see. I just like having so much having had so much particular aims in my life. I feel kind of like tired of having to know what I want to do. So I just really enjoy being in the flow and grabbing as many like as much experience as I possibly can. And sometimes it gets me thinking that, oh, so I'm not some piece of shit in the toilet that just goes around when someone pushes the button. So it's very tough to find the balance between having had all the aims and knowing what good those aims bring, and at the same time being kind of sick of those aims and wanting to kind of enjoy the moment and grasp everything you possibly can within that moment. So I'm trying to find the balance between having an aim and enjoying the like feeling myself really. God, my mom would so ashamed would be so ashamed hearing that. Hi, mom.
So, people, if you have any questions, it's time for you to ask during
Yeah,
our conversation. You're welcome to leave them. So, and the music, right? At this point, we came to the education, music
yeah.
playing. And what about youth work?
Youth
What?
work. Wow. It's Arina, it's a good one. I'm gonna answer the host's question first. Youth work is something that is aimed at providing young people with opportunities, helping them out with covering their basic needs, and like developing young people in the spheres that they need the most. So my experience with the youth work, since I've volunteered in an NGO in Narva for a while, and this gave me a perspective of how adults actually care of young people's needs. Not a lot of them, but some of them, and how they really want to develop the parts of young people that they themselves might not be aware of in that particular moment. So, and being youth delegate right now, it's coronavirus kind of made the changes it wanted to. But just talking to young people and like being at events and seeing how I I was like, my friends were not the young people that the young people are right now. So just seeing the swift of perspective, this level of activeness and being like, oh, I want to be there, I want to do that, I want to become that. There's nothing that can stop me. So it's youth work is very inspiring, and the people who do that on a daily basis, my deepest respect. Because can you imagine handling this atomic bomb of activities and activeness? My deepest respect. And like, not just handling it, but aiming it into something actually useful to the community. So merci, thank you to Paldies, to all you youth works out there. I really want to answer Arina's question. How is M&A to you? M&A is mergers and acquisitions. It's a part of civil law sphere that deals with the mergers and acquisitions of undertakings and firms. For me, it's interesting. I've never, like, before, Arina, there's a funny story how I got to M&A team and so on. And I was like, so they were like, choose the sphere, choose the Voltcon, the field of work you want to do. And I was like, okay, maybe I should do the procurement. Oh God, what's the word? Riga. I did a presentation on this. Basically, gosh, procurement. Oh my God, for shame of me. Procurement is where government or the government or institution is in need of something, and then they organize a tender. So all of this, how country and like government and businesses, how they cooperate. So I was like, maybe I'll go to the procurement part. But then they were like, choose three. And I was like, okay, first one, procurement. The second, M&A, because it kind of sounds fancy. And like, my dad has a firm. So like, I will manage that. And, it seems fun. You've heard about like, Apple and like how they buy stuff, Google, how it has its monopoly. And I was like, why not? I've never had the company law in my school. So I will have company law in February. So for me, it was new. I knew nothing. I literally knew nothing about it as I was writing. But then I had a book. It's actually with me somewhere here. It's a magical book. I'll show it to you. It actually helped me to build up my knowledge in English. And it's a lot of paperwork, to be honest. It's a lot of the LDDs, the translations, I'm not like, I've had my like 5 weeks in there. I will get back to the team in January when my mandate as youth delegate ends. So then they're like, oh, what's your shoe size? We're ordering something for you. And the M&A team, I'm like, what? Excuse me, on what? So I will get an even deeper look in future. So please, if you mind, you can answer that question, pose that question later on. But thank you for the question. It's a lot of fun.
So the Karina was asking about the corona. How do you feel?
How do I feel about corona?
Right.
You have like, corona has taken so much from me, and I still haven't realized how much it has given me. So I'm still like the shallow part of me, like the basic part of me, the very surface of me is like, Corona, you've taken everything. You've taken so many opportunities to walk down the corridors with Russian diplomats and see how they build their policy. how they build their arguments and how they can turn anything into everything and everything into nothing. And all the traveling opportunities. I should have been in so many places within the last half a years. So this surface part of me is still mad, just like, you know, this childish madness for being like, oh Molly, it's unfair. So this is what it is. But then looking back, I got to spend a lot of time with my family. I I got to do a lot of online stuff. I've never known how to use Zoom or BBB before that. I've met a lot of new people, Estonian people, whom I think I wouldn't have gotten to know that well if it wasn't for Corona. So I think it's Corona actually showed us how to get through this. Oh, this is so unfair. To actually, you know, go and be whatever you want to be within the opportunities that you have. And one friend of mine told me that, you know, it's not the last year of your life, and if you really want to, if you really wanted to, you know, cooperate with those diplomats in the hallways in New York, you could have done it online, or it's just the matter of your own willingness. So it was like, if you don't do that online, it's your own, it's on your own lazy ass. And I was like, this is why you're my friend. You just need to show to me that whatever it is, it's even possible to say P with an open mouth. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the answer, and thank you for the question. It was
Sure.
one more about the about the principles, basic principles of your life.
Basic principles of my life. I even know where the question comes from. Thank you for it. Honesty, first of all. If you know it's gonna hurt, just say it out. Do not keep it to yourself, because eventually I will figure it out, and it will hurt even more. Like, so it's honesty. Be honest with yourself first of all, and after reaching the state, the point of being fair to yourself, honest with yourself, it will be a lot simpler to be honest with others. So yeah, honesty. So no, I really don't want to see this, you know, fake honesty. So be like, oh, I really feel that. Like, how don't you see that? You know, honesty doesn't need to be shouted about. It's something that you feel when you're being shared with. So this is not something that you have to prove to me, like, oh, I'm honest, or like, oh, how dare you, how dare you accuse me of being dishonest. This is not something that I would really like. So this is the principle of honesty. And I think the second principle is principle of hard work. Nothing ever falls into the arms of the person who lays on their bed, except for the fact if you're somewhere on a deserted island and you lay under a palm and a coconut hits your head. So without the hard work and persistence, nothing can be achieved. Well, you can play the lottery 500,000 times in your life, and maybe, just maybe, you will win something. So it's honesty and persistence and hard work. And people. Okay, you need to find, if you want to get somewhere, you need to find the right people with the persistence, honesty with yourself, and the right people to guide you. Anything can be possible.
Thank you. That's actually beautiful words.
Yeah, I feel like Steve Jobs being like, which one?
In front of the students. As a musician,
How often
you have such an art blocks.
Okay, as a musician, how often do you have such as art blocks when you have no strength, feelings, and motivation to create? I mean, we're all human. If anyone tells you ever that they're always motivated and always like, yeah, I'm gonna freaking nail today, and they're like that every day, they haven't come to the stage of being honest with themselves. So there's something, or they're on some drugs. There are two options, not more. So I think that
even doing drugs, it doesn't really make you feel like at the top all the time. There's gonna be the one point at the top, and then you will go down, down, down.
Well, I don't know that. I don't do drugs. This conception is not familiar to me to the extent that it could have been. But answering your question, this is why I never chose musician as my professional path, being musician as my professional path, because there should be always something that you'll leave your soul to be having fun on. So for me, music and art have always been this, getaway and escape from my thought process. So as law student, as a person who works in this field, it's constant work. It's constant work with your brain cells. It's constant work with your eyes. So sometimes you just need to, touch your guitar and, turn your ears really on and actually give the soul the space. So I think that if you really want to appreciate music or art or whatever it is, if you want to keep it as an escape, as a getaway, you should never deal with it professionally. Because I don't know, there are people, I have met this amazing opera singer, Atlan. Amazing. The way he sings, I get goosebumps. The way he as soon as he opens his mouth, I'm like, oh my god, how do you do this to me? And not a lot of people can do this to me. So he we were talking with him about it. Like, so what? How don't you miss the sincerity or having the escape? And he was like, no, I don't need escape from music. I have managed to domesticate the music in a way that I don't need to escape from it. And I'm pretty sure there are genius and very hardworking lawyers who can work all day long, and then they will read some case law studies in the evening as something for fun. I have a great colleague of mine who just reads contractual law, never mind, the law books as his before go to sleep books. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot of such people, and I highly respect you. It's just something that I don't feel like my soul needs to do when trying to escape the brain. So answering your questions, after needing to be, for example, if I have a concert and I have to rehearse like 2 days very, very, very persistently, by the end of second day, I'm like, should I even perform tomorrow? Like, is it actually worth it? So, let your soul escape and keep this getaway path to yourself. Answering the question.
Oh, yes, thank you. Lizzie is asking the plans about the travel, I suppose. Where are you going to go?
I think that Lisa knows where I will go. I really want to go to Ukraine first because there is some, it's like the music to my soul. So it's a place where you escape. So as soon as the borders, I think if people really gotta go to Ukraine, they'll find a way, and I respect that very much. It's just maybe I need for a simpler way to get to Ukraine, and as soon as it will be possible, I will visit New York, because actually the Scandinavian airlines or some Nordic airline have this big discount for students. So you can fly to New York and back for like, I don't know, 180 euros, something like that.
Oh,
So
that's a beautiful price.
yeah. So it's Kiev and New York and Paris, of course. I really need to get my French together to actually go to Paris and get the beautiful views and share the beautiful moments.
Thank you. So I have the sad news. We only left 40 seconds from the
Oh my
conversation. We've been
God,
talking an
horrible.
hour together. So I have to say you thank you very much for being this together with us. It was a beautiful conversation. I learned a lot from you, and as always, it was nice to see you. Thank you very much. We are waiting from you to see you here in Riga. When
Thank
you
you.
get,
Thank you
please
for
come.
thank you for having me and for, you know, listening to the shit I have to say, because as you probably noticed, I'm not talking a